Hello, 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 Your Majesty, and welcome back to another episode of the Royal Reset Podcast. This is episode 19, Your Majesty. How are you feeling today? You're looking gorgeous. You're looking good. It's so good to see you, Your Highness. How are you feeling? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. That is so good to hear, Your Majesty. I am so glad to see you. Go ahead, prop me up in your laundry room, in your kitchen, in your living room, wherever it is that you're doing your Sunday reset chores today, whether you're doing meal prepping, whether you're doing your laundry, whether you're just cleaning up a bit. Prop me up, Your Majesty, and hopefully you'll allow me 30 minutes to an hour to inspire you and motivate you as you walk into your next week. Yeah. Okay, so me, myself, and I am doing great. I'm doing fabulous. I'm going to get into what you want to hear about because I know what you want to hear about. But for right now, I'll just say that I'm doing great. And I feel great. I look great. I'm just slaying. Just like you, Your Majesty, we slay together, right? Correct. Exactly. Exactly. So we spoke about some goals last week. We reiterated our goals and we went over what we discussed on fear and with Bob's Burgers and Louise Belcher a couple weeks ago. And then last week we spoke about how I'm finally stepping into my Hannah Montana best of both worlds life. Yes. Yes, yes, Your Majesty. And then you told me that you had some goals for the week. And you told me all of them. And I said, go on and slay. I'm so happy, so proud of you. And I couldn't wait to hear how you slayed each and every single one of them. So this is the moment. This is the time, Your Majesty. Tell me, were there any setbacks? Were there any roadblocks? Were there any wins that just felt so damn good? Your Majesty, tell me everything. Yo, I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh, yes. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. That's why I love to have these conversations with you, Your Majesty, because I just know every week you are doing better and better. You're looking better. You're feeling better. You're slaying your goals. You are just killing the game, Your Majesty. I am so very proud of you. I say it every week and I'm going to say it again. You know, so many people, and that's basically what we're going to discuss today. So many people are complacent in lives that they hate, but they're familiar. So they don't change. They don't go after their goals and their dreams and what they want. And you are an outlier. You show up for yourself every single day, no matter how bad you may feel or how scared or how few people are in your corner. You are still showing up for yourself, still going after your goals, still going after what you deserve, and I am so proud of you for that. I'm so proud of you, Your Majesty. So for me, what you want to hear? Okay, so on Monday, I did have my negotiation call. Yes, they lowballed me. This number is $10,000 more, but not enough. Not enough, not enough. So I dropped my number, and immediately the HR rep said, absolutely not. But he did say that he will go back to the team, work with the team, advocate, and try to get me closer to that number, as close as possible. but that number, he said, was not going to happen. And so I said, that's cool, but just, blah, 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 bloop, bloop, bloop. And then also signing bonus. He said, "Ooh, I'll go to the team on that as well, but I'm gonna just let you know now it's most likely not gonna happen." I was like, but I do know that you've given it to other people before. So go ahead and go to the team and just let them know that I know. And that was that. So he's going back to the team or has went back to the team, and I am still waiting to hear what they come back with. Terrified. That's how I feel. I am terrified, but I'm also excited, and I'm also proud of myself for standing up for myself, for advocating for myself. Um, because I do a lot. I do a lot, and I make it look easy because I have 14 years of experience, but I bring value. I am valuable, and you're going to have to pay for that. You're just going to have to pay for that. So we will see what they come back with. I have plan A, B, and C already planned out and mapped out. So we'll see what they come back with and which plan I execute based off of what they come back with. That was my first time negotiating. Um, I still feel triggered as all get out. Growing up homeless, I used to panhandle as a kid. And if you don't know what panhandling is, it's those people who you see standing outside of grocery stores or at the end of the freeway asking for money, right? And so as a kid, I didn't have money for food. Mom didn't have money for food. My brother sitting there starving. So my mom would force me to panhandle to get money. And as a kid, as a little girl, like you have a better chance of people saying yes and actually giving you cash. But I don't remember all the times people did. What I remember is more often than not, people saying no and just giving me the most ugliest, disgusting looks ever. And so this triggered that trauma. And although it's different, right? That is asking for a handout. This is asking and advocating for myself and demanding what I'm worth. My body is still feeling like it's asking for a handout. And so I'm terrified, I'm triggered, and I won't be able to breathe until I know how we're moving forward. And the fact that it's taken them so long, Monday will be a week. Yeah, yeah, I'm stressed, but then at the same time, I'm excited because I know that I'm going to get my floor. So for negotiations, you have a floor and you have a number that's like the number you asked for, right? I know that I'm going to get my floor. So as long as I get my floor, I'm Gucci. But it's the not knowing, it's the waiting, it's the anxiety is going crazy, Your Majesty. So I'll let you know next week what happens. But on the other side of that, today is day 6 of phase 2 of 75 Hard. Yes, I started back on Tuesday. We're back into this. All I have to do is the regular 75 Hard task. Work out twice a day, both 45 minutes. One must be outside. Drink a gallon of water. Choose a diet, any diet. Stick to it. No cheat meals, no alcohol. I already don't drink alcohol, so I'm doing no soda. Read 10 pages of a self-help book or nonfiction, and take a progress photo every single day. And I'm doing that plus the additional tasks from phase 1. So that's praying, meditating, journaling, 5-minute cold shower, 10 minutes of visualization. And I'm loving being back in the game, being back in the mindset. My break was nice. And towards the end of that break, I started really enjoying that break. a little bit too much. So I'm happy to be back on task, back on routine. And oh, whenever I'm on routine, I'm just so highly elevated that anything goes. Like, I just feel like my goals are possible, even more possible when I'm on routine. And I'm reading A Happy Pocket Full of Money, which is blowing my mind. Oh my, Your Majesty, so good. It's so good. Um, yes, I will talk more about that next week. But goodness, so good. It's so good. So yes, that is my week. Have had a great week, and I'm excited to see how this negotiation plays out next week. So let's discuss this week's 4B Queen of the Week. We're not even going to slip, slide, turn around, nothing. We know exactly who it is. And if you don't, now you do. Nicole Collier, okay? Texas Democratic Senator Nicole Collier. This is what happened. Texas is trying to change their maps. They're trying to redistrict their maps in Texas in order to pad their Senate with, or is it their House? I don't know, one of them, trying to pad their Congress, the Texas Congress, with more Republican seats instead of Democratic seats for the next midterm elections coming up in 2026. And so, in order to avoid a quorum, which is what you need in order to vote on something like that, that means that you need to have a certain amount of people there present in order to vote. A lot of the Democratic uh, reps left the state, and went to other states where they couldn't be pulled back by law enforcement. And in doing so, there were actually warrants for arrest put out for all of those people, Nicole being one of them. So by the time they came back to actually have quorum and to do the vote on Monday, each of those reps that fled the state were forced to sign paperwork saying that they will be given a police escort while they're not at the Capitol. And in order to leave the Capitol, you had to sign the paperwork saying that you will be given a police escort. Now, they voted on this. Nicole is a 7-time senator, so she voted on this. However, she decided she wasn't going to sign the paperwork. And so from Monday, I believe, till Thursday, she slept in the Capitol 24/7, ate in the Capitol, washed up, did bird baths in the facilities at the Capitol for 4 days, and refused to sign the paperwork for giving her a police escort. She said that they already won because they got the votes that they needed to change the maps to redistrict Texas and pad the Congress with more Republican seats. Um, so why put salt in the wound by forcing them to have police escorts? It made absolutely no sense, and I am so proud of her for sticking to her guns and standing up for not only herself but other reps and the Democrats in the state of Texas who just got bulldozed. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I believe that history repeats itself. And although things are terrible now, the good guys always win. We always win. So I just keep asking myself, do they know history? Have they seen that this has happened before? People have tried to do this before and they have failed. You are going to fail. They are going to fail. And when it happens, it's going to be glorious. Mm, 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 mm. Yes, yes. And from it is going to be an age of growth and and prosperity and wealth and joy and happiness. Just like last time. Just like last time, there's going to be a boom. So every few decades, we've had to break ourselves down in order to build ourselves up. It's just what we do individually. Sometimes we have to let go of who we are in order to become who we're supposed to be, right? Our country's in the middle of that itself. We're letting go of who we were for what we're supposed to be, and is not what we used to be back in the 1960s. Is definitely not that. We are definitely building something even better, and first is going to take a rude awakening for a lot of folks. So thank you, Nicole Collier, for standing up for yourself, standing up for us. And I look forward to seeing what happens with the election here in California in November, because I'm definitely voting for it. I'm definitely voting for it. Big Daddy Gavin Newsom, he said, "Oh, bet, fine, we could do it too. Next." So yeah, I am so happy, so proud of you. Thank you so much, Nicole Collier. We appreciate you. You're such a diva. Yes. Now, let's discuss what is entertaining me. Your Majesty, I haven't read Nine book. I have been so focused on work and on content. So I haven't read not nan juicy book, and it's crazy because I'm still at only 41 books read, and I've got to get to 115 by December 31st. Yikes. Okay, so what else has been entertaining me this week? Really, Rep Collier and that whole situation. I've been checking in on that. Megan the Stallion and Klay Thompson with her cooking him spaghetti and catfish, and him just absolutely dying for it every single time. Him and Foe fighting over it. Hilarious. Love to see it. Love to see it. Um, Oh, and I'm loving to see how the people are going in on Offset. Apparently, he called out Cardi B in one of his songs called Move On, and talking about how, she never cooked, she never cleaned, and somebody somebody tweeted him and was like, "You were never home. You were always out in the streets. When was she supposed to cook for you, sir?" I love to see it. I love to see it. Yes, that is what has been entertaining me mostly. Just scrolling through the ticks and the talks. I finally got that one song out of my head. You know the song I'm talking about. The daughter. I only have one daughter song. Finally got that out of my head. Oh, Hamilton. And that's why we're discussing Hamilton today. Hamilton has been on my mind heavy. I am so excited for September 2nd when it's coming, when it's hitting theaters for the 10th or the 20th anniversary. I'm so excited for that. I am so excited. If you are someone who prefers people to just shut the while you're in the movie theaters, do not go to see Hamilton on September 2nd because it's a sing along. Just like what y'all did with Taylor Swift, just like what we did with the Renaissance movie. we are going to be singing along. So if you don't want to sing along, if you don't want to party like it's 19 or 1876, then the movie theater is not the place for you on September 2nd. I'm just saying. I am just saying. I love Hamilton so much. The songs are always just so lit and so hip and so hot and so like you listen to it, you hear it once and then it's just stuck. It's stuck. And then I've been on a Lin-Manuel Miranda like wave. Okay, so I listened to the entire Hamilton soundtrack yesterday. Then I went and listened to it in Kanto because why not? That man is just genius. Then I went and listened to Mufasa's soundtrack. Like, God, he's so good. He is so good, and I am so excited to see Hamilton in theaters. And I may even buy me like a George Washington costume and do the whole thing. I'm low key, high key gonna do that. And I'll show you pictures when I do it, Your Majesty. Yes, yes, yes. But let's talk about our main topic, the main reason why we are here today, Your Highness. We are here today to discuss negative Nancy's and Debbie Downers. Yes, yes, yes. And we are going to use Hamilton as our example, really. So, recap, if you don't know, first of all, if you don't know Hamilton, the musical, if you've never seen it, like, are you enjoying your life? Are you happy with yourself? I don't think you are, because not knowing what Hamilton is and not having seen Hamilton is crazy work. Crazy work. I got on my Hamilton kick this week because I found this girl on TikTok who was watching it for the first time ever in 2025. Girl. But at the same time, it was lit because we were watching it with her. And so it's almost like we're watching it again for the first time, watching her reactions to everything. And as they happen, it was so good. It was so good. But Hamilton is about Alexander Hamilton. Technically, it's about the wife, but we'll get there. Anyway, so it's the story about one of our founding fathers, Alexander Hamilton, who was an immigrant who moved to New York after both his parents and his caretaker passed away, right? And so he moves to New York as an orphan, and decides that the only way to improve his quality of life is to jump into the revolution. And that's what he does. He becomes part of the Revolutionary War. He becomes George Washington's right-hand man. He's a beast with a pen. So he wrote his way out of poverty and his way to New York. He wrote his way to being George Washington's right-hand man. He meets Eliza, his wife, one of the Schuyler sisters, and while he is courting her, he's writing her love letters. He is just a brilliant guy who's against slavery and all about building up America. And he is, I don't want to say arrogant, he is just ambitious. He is ambitious and he talks the talk and walks the walk, right? So he backs up his ambition with hard work, dedication. No one else was putting in the amount of work that he was putting in, right? He's up here, so they say, like, for example, he was one of the people who wrote a slew of essays defending the new uh, Constitution, right? They were trying to get the Constitution passed, but it was a mess. There were so many issues with it, and a lot of people didn't believe in the Constitution when it first came about. So, in order to get the people rallied behind this Constitution, Hamilton worked with James Madison and someone else to John Jay to write essays and publish them anonymously defending the Constitution, right? And so there's a whole song where they discuss how like John Jay got sick after writing 5. James Madison wrote like 15, I believe. And then Hamilton himself wrote 51. 51 essays in the span of 6 months. Wrote and published 51 essays. No one else was on his level, right? And people are seeing this and feeling some type of way about this. So that's where we get our negative Nancys and our Debbie Downers. Hamilton's negative Nancys and Debbie Downers are Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr, who he describes as a friend, when this man conspired against him on multiple occasions. And he's another one. We could do a whole episode on Aaron Burr and his fear, really, that kept him from becoming who he truly wanted to be, and then how he ended up actually using Hamilton as a scapegoat for that fear. We can do a whole episode on that. But what we'll stop at right now is Hamilton versus Jefferson, Madison, and Burr, right? Hamilton's writing nonstop, up here slaying, killing the game, doing what he was put on this earth to do, right? Using his pen, which is his power, to help build and create America. And in the process, making enemies, known enemies, with Thomas Jefferson and James Madison, but also a frenemy with Aaron Burr, right? These are people who are salty. That's really what it is. Salty that they don't have the pull, they don't have the connections that Hamilton has. And so they conspire to bring him down. They do it face to face, like Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. And then they hate in the backgrounds, which is what Aaron Burr did majority of the musical until the end when he just blew up, right? So I want to discuss with you today how not to become Hamilton. Really, you are going to find people who, like I say every week, are complacent in their lives that they hate. But they want other people to be complacent with them too. And when they see you rising above, ignoring that comfort so that you can build the life that you know you deserve and that you want, oh no, how dare you? Then you become all sorts of dogs and bitches and all sorts of names. Who do you think you are? You're laughing, making fun of you to your face and behind your back. You will find this every single time, especially if you have this is just like fear. This is a part of the process. You will have naysayers. You will have negative Nancys tell you you can't do something. You will have Debbie Downers who will try to make you feel like what you're doing is the most horrible thing in the world. And I am here to tell you that when you have the negative Nancys and when you have the Debbie Downers and when you have people making fun of you, laughing at you, asking you, who do you think you are? That is when you're doing everything right. everything right. Hamilton was up there slaying, creating the national bank. He was up there putting systems in place, our first systems, right? Thomas Jefferson went on as president and, made it better. So did Madison. Of course, they went and created something better on top of that. But Alexander Hamilton created the blueprint. And it was eating them up. There was a song, the very first song of Act 2, where Aaron Burr says, even though we started at the very same time, Alexander Hamilton began to climb. Like, I'm back here. And he's like, we started as lawyers at the very same time. How is he already better known, well known, better at being a lawyer than I am? How? How is he already getting invited to the Constitutional Convention? And I'm not. We started at the same time because Hamilton is just a boss ass bitch. That's why. That's why. And Aaron Burr was complacent and waiting first to see what happens before making his move. And in the end, that is what took him out. That is what took him out. So what do you do when you come across these negative Nancys and these Debbie Downers and these naysayers? One, you do not fall into their trap like Alexander Hamilton did. You ignore them. How did Alexander Hamilton fall into their trap? If you do not know the story, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, and Aaron Burr worked together to find some sort of dirt on Alexander Hamilton. They found receipts of him paying a guy quarterly. And they thought that he was using state money, the money he was circulating as the treasurer, to make those payments. In reality, Alexander Hamilton had a little side piece, and he was paying her husband monthly to be quiet while he had her. Yes. He's not perfect. But when it comes to being the treasurer of the United States of America, the very first treasurer of the United States of America, all of his I's were dotted, all of his T's were crossed. He never used money that wasn't his to pay his mistress's husband. So he told them about the mistress in order to clear his name. However, the way that situation ended, that conversation ended, Aaron Burr told him the rumors only grow. And so at some point, this is going to come out. And you're going to have to face the music. So instead of just waiting for it to come out or talking to and, apologizing or talking to, I don't know, Eliza, your wife, and telling your wife, hey, so I messed up and it may come out. It may not, but I messed up. Instead of doing that, instead of ignoring it, instead of just letting it play out, which is what I would have done, because how was anybody else going to figure that out? Nobody else was swooping around. They were the haters who were figuring that out. He decides to write, again, he says, my superpower is writing. I'm going to write my way out of this situation. So he decides to write a pamphlet that I believe was 95 pages and publish it. Didn't even tell his wife first. Published this pamphlet that's 95 pages, and maybe only like 10 pages is him detailing how he had an affair while his wife and his children were on summer vacation with her family. And that came out of his pocket. However, he spends the rest of the pages detailing every single transaction that he's ever made as treasurer, right? Of course, it blew up in his face. Of course, it blew up in his face. And it ruined his chances of ever becoming president, right? Well, that's what they say. I think he could have turned that around, but they say it ruined his chances of ever becoming president. If I were in Hamilton's shoes, I would have ignored them hoes. I would have ignored them. I wouldn't have told them about my affair. I would have said, prove it. Go ahead, publish what you have to publish. Tell who you need to tell. Because at the end of the day, when they went through all of his records, they would have seen that he never spent a cent that wasn't his. He never had to respond in the first place. And that's what I want you to know. You are going to be triggered to respond to these negative Nancy's, to these Debbie Downers, to these naysayers, and I want you to ignore them. Let it go in one ear and out the other, Your Majesty, because what they want you to do is they want you to stoop down to their level, and they want you to react. And when you react to something so negative like that, that first reaction you have to something so negative as someone telling you no, you can't, or someone making fun of you, or someone laughing at you, it's going to be bad. That first reaction is never good. It's never good. So I want you to muster up all your courage and walk away. Ignore them. Ignore the Thomas Jeffersons. Ignore the James Madisons. Ignore the Aaron Burrs. Ignore them. And in the end, you not acting the way they wanted you to act, the way they wanted you to react, oh, that's going to make them even more mad. But you win. You win. Because your reputation is intact. Your goals and your dreams is intact. They are trying to bring you down to your level, to their level. They know you've surpassed them. They don't like the fact that you're not complacent with them. They don't like the fact that even though they are doing the same thing you're doing, you were called for this. This is your purpose. So of course you're excelling at this. They don't like that. And the best way for you to respond to their outward temper tantrums of how fly and how much you're slaying, how fly you are and how much you're slaying, is to simply ignore them. Know that when you have a hater, Tia and Tamara's mother, Tia and Tamara Mowry, the twins, mother used to always tell them, when you have a hater, you know you're doing something right, because the haters don't come to no one, come along to someone who doesn't do anything. These are people who are doing less than you, who aren't on your level. And so they have time to hate because they ain't doing shit. Right? Right? And so why stoop down to their level? Don't do that. Take it as a compliment that they're hating and move and continue to move and do what it is that you're doing. Ignore them. One, ignore them. Ignore them. Two, I would say, shit, cut that out. So many cutouts today. I am so tired. I had it. What was number two? There are two things I wanted to discuss. One, the first one is ignore them. And the second one is what? Shoot, what's the second one? Oh, got it. Number two, in cases like Aaron Burr, who was more of a frenemy. There were friendly times between Aaron Burr and Hamilton. Um, really, there weren't. So cut that out. So really, so that's number one. Number two is move in silence, right? In cases like Aaron Burr, you're going to have lots of people in your life who are snakes in sheep clothing, who look like friends and talk like friends, but are really enemies, are really haters, right? And they are going to try to get as close to you as possible in order to bring you down, or as close to you as possible in order to ride your wave with you, right? How do you recognize these people? Aaron Burr is the perfect example. He told Hamilton that what he's doing, him being loud and boisterous and ambitious like he is, he needs to shush, 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 shush. You gotta watch and wait for it to happen. You're too loud. You're too boisterous. You're too this. You're too that. People who tell you you're doing too much to your face, telltale sign that they are a hater disguised as a friend. They are a frenemy. They are a frenemy. I have a perfect example. There is another admin at the company that I work at who a few months ago there was a reorg in the company, and that reorg allowed me to take on 3 additional teams. So I started only supporting as an administrative assistant, only supporting 10 or 7 teams, right? After this reorg, well, right before this reorg, I had disclosed to my boss that I am still way under capacity. I'm a boss ass bitch. Give me more. Give me more. And if you don't give me more, my whole concept behind that was when you see me up here reading or doing TikToks and stuff like that, just know that my work is done. I'm letting you know now up front ahead of time that I'm just a boss ass bitch and I'm still slaying these 7 teams. So knowing that, once the reorg happened, they gave me 3 additional teams. So now I support 10 teams. Do you see why I'm negotiating? Do you see why I said I bring that number up a little bit higher? Do you see why now? And so I'm still under capacity. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest, because I'm just a boss ass bitch when it comes. I've been doing executive assistant work for 14 years. So I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, right? Still way under capacity. However, I go to her and tell her I'm new to this. I'm true to this, right? Still way under capacity. However, I go to her and tell her, okay, I don't know what happened, but my phone just died. It just died. Or not died, but it just restarted for some reason. So, really quickly, let's move through this. The admin told me, so she told me that even though I was their admin and they now get an admin, that I shouldn't be doing admin work for them. I ignored that. Continue to help them go above and beyond excitedly to help them as I do as an admin, because I love my job as an admin. That I love to help people and to make people's lives better, their professional lives better. So I don't understand how you have this job and you don't want to do no work unless they're a VP. It didn't make no sense to me. So I ignored that, right? And then came the promotion. And we all know the promotion comes with a raise, and that's what I'm negotiating right now. But when the promotion first came, I told her, and she's up here crying while I'm telling her that, hey, yeah, I'm up for this promotion. She's crying. And then I'm telling her that, I've had my 5 interviews. They went really well. But the other person that they're interviewing for the promotion, she or he called last minute to reschedule their interviews. She flips and gets angry within a second. Like, what? How dare they? Why are you being so fake, ma'am? Why are you being so fake? I had to laugh at her right there in her face. Like, why are you getting so angry? You see, I'm not angry about it. I'm okay with it. It's okay that it takes a couple more weeks if it needs to. Didn't even take a couple more weeks. They never even interviewed that second person. They just ended up giving me the promotion. So like, why are you so angry again? She was faking. She was faking. And the final nail in the coffin, and this is why I'm telling you this. The final nail in the coffin, she was asking me about something, that same team that she told me that used to be her team, and she told me that I shouldn't do admin work for. I should just let them be self-sufficient. She was asking me something about them, and I decided not to tell her, not to answer her question and tell her, you can ask them directly, right? And I go on to say hi to one of my team members. A reason why I'm so good at what I'm doing, and the reason why they ended up giving me this promotion in the first place, is because even though I have 10 teams, I don't just sit at my desk all day and let them come to me. I do what I call rounds, and I go and I visit all of my teams in all of the different buildings. My teams are stretched across 3 buildings right now. By the end of next month, it'll be 4 buildings. And so I get out of my chair, and I go and I walk to all my different teams and say hi to every single one of my team members, 169 people. I go and I say hi to them every single day, every single day, every single day. And so when she asked me this question, I deflected the question and I went to go say hi to one of my team members. He wasn't at his desk. He sits close to her. So I walk right back past her desk and to the elevator to go down, and I run into the team member that I wanted to say hi to. So I'm like, hi, I just stopped by your desk. Just wanted to check in with you, see how you're doing. Let me know if you need anything, right? And I walk to the elevator. Our conversation is done. Tell me why she walks by, right? Not knowing that I'm in the elevator, waiting for the elevator, the little elevator cubby, right? She walks by and she says, "Oh, Jasmine's so great, isn't she?" And he's like, "Yeah, we love her. So happy to have her as an admin." And she's like, "Well, not everybody can be a Jasmine. So just keep that in mind." I'm sorry, what? What? Snakes in sheep's clothing. Not everybody is your friend. Not everybody needs to know what your goals and your dreams are. Unless you are doing something like speaking it into existence. And even then, these aren't the people you need to speak those types of goals into existence with. Okay? They low key hate you. They low key want to beat you. And they're angry, upset that they're not. And they're trying to get close to you so that they can either ride your wave or that they can bring you down from the inside out. Do not let them. Do not give them the ammunition. Okay? Shh. Not everybody needs to know your plans. Not everybody needs to know your goals. Not everybody needs to know your dreams. Move in silence. Okay? This is a person I know not to trust with any of my business. Absolutely nothing at all. I don't trust her with nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Alexander Hamilton should not have trusted Aaron Burr with a secret such as him having a mistress and paying the mistress husband so that he could have the mistress. That's not something you tell somebody, Alexander Hamilton. That's not something you divulge. Let's not be a Hamilton. 1, ignore your haters. Actually, no. We're going to make 1, seeing haters as a sign that you're doing everything right. Okay? 2, ignore them. And 3, recognize those haters that are pretending to be friends to get close to you. And don't tell them shit. Don't tell them shit. You'll recognize it. You will see it. Aaron Burr would tell Alexander Hamilton, "You're doing too much," all the time. That's a classic telltale sign. This Ant-Man told me the same thing. I'm doing too much. We need to make sure that these people are self-sufficient. Do not do what they tell you to do. What? And then these strong reactions, when you don't even feel that way, these strong negative reactions, crying when I get a promotion, getting angry because it's delayed a couple of weeks. Like the way her face flipped in a second. She was like, oh my gosh, it's comical. It is comical. Recognize the signs and know these are people that you don't tell your business to. You don't tell them any goals, any dreams that you have. Do not tell them, because they will make it a mission to tear you down before you even get the chance to build yourself up. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And then on that same note, know that coworkers are not friends. People you go to school with, technically classmates aren't friends. Like you've got to protect your peace. Protect your vibration. If you hang around someone and when you leave and you all say goodbye to each other and you go back to your lives, if you don't feel inspired, if you don't feel at peace, if you don't feel an immense sense of joy, but instead you feel drained, you feel depressed, you feel sad after hanging out with that person, that's a sheep in wolf's clothing, or a wolf in sheep clothing, a snake in sheep's clothing. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Stop hanging out with them. Stop telling them your business. Point blank, period. Stop hanging out with them. Stop telling them your business. So, recap. 1, recognize haters, mean that you're doing everything right. 2, ignore your haters. And 3, recognize the signs for haters who are pretending to be your friend. Frenemies. Recognize frenemies and know that those aren't people that you share any of your time, any of your business with, any of your life with. Stay far, far away from those people. Okay? Let's not be an Alexander Hamilton. Let's learn from his mistakes. All right? Yes, Your Majesty. Okay, so we had a little setback and I almost decided to abandon this episode, but I'm glad we got back into it. Tell me, Your Majesty, what are your goals for this week ahead? Yes. Yes, Your Majesty. Yes, I am. I cannot wait to talk to you next week and discuss these goals with you and see how you have slayed each and every single one. You are learning and you are growing as you go along. It's been 19 weeks, Your Majesty, technically 20 weeks, that we've been sitting down and having this conversation. And the growth that I see from you so far, oh my gosh, Your Majesty. Do you feel it? Do you see it? How far you have come? I just know you're going to slay this week. I am so proud of how far you've come, and I cannot wait to see just how you slay each and every single one of those goals this week. I know you can. Me, I want to read. I want to read, but starting 75 hard again, I've been so tired and exhausted by the time I get home. So I am going to carve out time specifically to get at least, I want to say 4 books in. That'll be my high number, but my floor number will be at least 2 books. I want to read at least 2 books this week. My TBR continues to grow. Continues to grow. So it's not like I have a shortage of books to read. So I would like to get back to reading. Hopefully I sign some paperwork this week with the raise that comes with the promotion. For the raise that comes with the promotion, and we can put this whole negotiation thing behind us, and I win, yay, yay. Didn't leave no money on the table, got it all, collected it all, because I deserve it all. And today's day 6, so by the time we talk next week, it should be day 13 of 75 hard phase 2. So yes, those are my goals for the week. Thank you so much, Your Majesty, for hanging out with me, and for those of you watching on TikTok, for if you came back after my phone decided to restart itself, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you so much. I hope you have a week that is just as magnificent as you are, and I will see you back here next week, same time, same place, Your Majesty. Okay? All right. Have a good week. Bye.